I cruised on board Carnival Horizon, one of Carnival Cruise Line's newer ships, for a 6-night cruise out of Miami in Florida. I chose to stay in the smallest and cheapest cabin type available on the whole cruise ship, and that's exactly what I'm going to be showing you today. Carnival describe the cabin I chose to cruise in on their website as being an affordable way to cruise without leaving out comfort or convenience. Let's see what you think. The ship itself was launched in 2018 and features so many different types of cabin. There's 72 suites on board, some of which have got their own private terraces, 880 balcony cabins, 293 Oceanview cabins, in other words, room with a window, and also 678 inside cabins, and this is the one that I'm going to be showing you today. I wasn't sure what to expect from this cruise, as I'd only cruised with Carnival once before, over on the west coast, so I was by no means a Carnival expert. I paid £803 or $1,024 for a 6-night cruise, which works out about £134 or $170 per night. Considering I was travelling solo in a cabin that could have been sold to 2 passengers, this was a pretty good price. If you're not aware, solo cruisers often have to pay up to the full price of 2 passengers sharing a cabin if cruising in a room where the company could have sold that room to 2 passengers. Now, I always like to compare the prices I pay per night for my cruises to what I would have got on land for the same price. And for the £134 or $170 per night that I spent to cruise with Carnival, I could have got myself a 3-star Holiday Inn hotel room by Miami Airport. But this wouldn't include any of my food, not even breakfast, or any of my entertainment, and the obvious one, I'd have been stuck at Miami Airport. So suddenly, my Carnival price felt pretty decent. Before we get started on the room itself, why did I choose this cabin? When I cruise, I almost always opt for the cheapest cabin available on the whole ship, and this often means staying on the inside with no window. I usually select when I book that I'm happy to be upgraded when I make the booking, and this has allowed me to experience some much more premium rooms over the years. But it's worth adding that upgrades on cruise ship cabins don't happen all that often. I always allow the cruise line to pick the room for me, mostly because of the fact that it costs me extra to choose a specific room, and I'm always totally fine with wherever I end up. It's worth remembering before I show you around the room in this video, Carnival Horizon, the ship that I'll be taking you on board today, is a pretty big ship. She's 1,055 feet long. I read somewhere recently that the Statue of Liberty in New York is about 310 feet tall, and so this cruise ship is longer than 3 times the height of the Statue of Liberty. It's huge. On board there's loads of restaurants, bars, open deck spaces, swimming pools, a crazy golf course, a jogging track, a water park, an IMAX theatre, and so much more. My point here is that I knew when I made the booking that I wouldn't be spending a huge amount of time in my cabin anyway, because I'd be out and about exploring the ship, so it wouldn't matter if it was small, and it wouldn't matter if there wasn't any daylight in there. Another reason why I was happy to be cruising on the inside is that we were cruising in the Caribbean during the summer season, so I knew it was going to be very hot and probably very humid outside. You see the glossy cruise brochures of people sitting out in their balconies enjoying the sea air, but I knew for a fact I'd have found it too warm to be out there most of the time, and so spending the extra cash on a balcony felt like a bit of a waste of money for me when I would prefer a really nicely air-conditioned cabin. Anyway, let me show you the room. Okay, so the cabin that we're going to have a look around today, guys, is number 7440, which is on deck 7 of Carnival Horizon. Now, hopefully you can see already from just coming in here, there's quite a lot of floor space. Like, it's a decent size of inside cabin. Just remember, this is the cheapest cabin that you could book on this ship. So, yeah, I really don't think it's small at all. Now, the way this works, you've got the bed up at one end of the room. On one wall, you've then got a workstation and your storage, and on this wall, you've then got like your TV and stuff, which we'll cover in a sec. You've then got your bathroom just around that corner, and I'll take you in there and show you that in a little second. So the bed is 2 twin beds that are pushed together. to form a double, and then on either side you've got little cupboards under here that click shut, and then you've got your lamps that are operated with an off and an on switch directly in front. Now you've then got a light switch in the middle of the bed, so that if this room were set up as a twin, these beds would be pushed apart and that light switch would be accessible for both from either side of the room. Now, spinning round, you've then got your workstation. Now, I had one of these mirrors on Carnival Panorama recently, and the light you get off it is really, really nice actually, so I'm a big fan of it. Now, you've then got your desk. It's got some of my belongings on it, so don't worry, you're not about to get a laptop and a pair of sunglasses if you book this cabin. But in terms of plug points, you've got one European, two US, and two USB. So actually pretty well equipped from a power point of view in this cabin. Now you've then got some paperwork for when you join, so you've got QR codes that have got all your policies and menus on it, and then you've got your cabin phone. Now under here, you've then got a drawer, which has got your hairdryer in it, so you can obviously then use that as you're using the mirror here. And then if I spin round on this side, you've got your TV, which directly faces the bed, which is always good. And then you've got some water. Now the water here I believe is chargeable, so yes, $4.25, so just always remember to bring a bottle, and that way you won't have to pay for that every day. Now underneath, you've then got some shelves, which is good, and it's definitely worth mentioning that this policy is getting really common now on cruise ships, where you can use the pool towels, but if you don't bring them back, they'll bill you. So in this example, $22 per towel, so just always make sure that you return them at the end of your cruise. And then in here, you've got your minibar. So I always say to people, get your minibar emptied, and then you can use it for your own things. And quite a lot of people quite like that advice. And in here, it's already empty. So that is really good. Now, let me show you storage really, really quickly. Now in here, you've got floor-to-ceiling hanging space. So it's got my luggage on the bottom, so please excuse that. Plus a full-length mirror on the right-hand side. And then on the other side, you've got some shelves. You've got the safe, which my laptop won't fit in there, but it's a decent size. So it's basically the full palm of my hand in there. And then down below, you've got some closed drawers. And yeah, another little shelf down near the bottom. Now, what else do we need to look at here? I think there's only one more thing. So we've got the air conditioning box, and the aircon in here either goes colder or warmer, and I can tell you it's a cold room, which is really, really good. Now, let's go into the bathroom, and I think that's our final thing to look at today. So as always, you've got hooks on the back of the door. It's quite rare to get 3 actually. Usually a cruise ship cabin would only have 2. So you get an extra hook up there. Do we talk about what you all know I'm going to mention here? So first up, we've got a lot of blue. So there's a lot of blue on the sink and on the floor, and the walls are this sort of yellow colour. So for a relatively new ship, the bathroom does feel quite old, but I mean, it's fine. It's perfectly functional. The thing that I was going to talk about is this. I hate a shower curtain on a cruise ship. And actually, I think Carnival have done themselves an injustice putting one in this bathroom, because the bathroom is big enough for a shower screen. So it is quite a big cubicle that they've got there. So yeah, I guess that's probably a cost-saving venture that there's a curtain in here. But yeah, hopefully our days of them are limited. Now, storage in here, you've got 3 open shelves over there, and the same over this side, and a little bit of storage down below on the other side as well. Now, that is a full tour of this cabin, and what I would like to know from you is, would you cruise in this cabin, or would you rather cruise in another cabin grade elsewhere on the ship? So, would I recommend this type of cabin to someone considering a Carnival cruise? In short, yes. I genuinely felt as though, from a value for money perspective, this cruise delivered. Seeing what I got for the price I paid was so interesting, as I'd expected Carnival to feel like a much more budget product than it ended up being. If you'd like to see more from my time on board this cruise ship and so many others, head to the videos in the description of this one, where I've got so much more to show you. Also, click subscribe below this video to join me on so many more trips. Thanks for watching.